Women are going to war with each other by Hei React. So basically, everybody knows Twitter, right? X. So what has been happening is that apparently, which was really interesting, they dropped an update for Grok where you can now tag it and it will edit pictures for you. So what did the OnlyFans girls do? Well, they just did what they always do and took their normal pictures and added Grok and said like, put me in a bikini, turn me around, you get the idea. And then the other degenerates, the other Twitter degens, did it to normal women too. Yep. That's where we are now. That's where we are now. That is the reality of things. That is diabolical. Also, please consider liking, subscribing. I appreciate it. We're gonna look at some things.
Crazy situation going on over on Twitter/X, where when people now post pictures, there is a little button in the bottom right corner that says edit, and anyone can click that button and put whatever they want in there, essentially. It seems like there's really like no limitations. Maybe there's some, but
there's barely any limitations. You can pull this off with children. There is no limitation. They did it to the girl that plays Mike's sister in the new Stranger Things season. There is no limitation. Women going to war with each other, and that's nothing new. Very true. There's no limit to what you can do. You can cover women, you can put them in bikinis, you can cover them in white liquid. There's no safety.
Like I said, it seems like not much, if any, limitations at all. But this is to say that people are going to other people's pictures and editing them to do NSFW stuff you could imagine, right? And so this has caused women to go to war with each other because half the women are actually doing this to themselves. They're posting their own pictures and then going edit and saying things like, hey Grok, remove my shirt. Hey Grok, turn me around. Hey Grok, blah, blah, blah. Anything that's making it more sexualized. And then the other half of the women are calling out those women, saying that they shouldn't be doing.
And I made a realization. I made a realization. Putting on a wig and throwing yourself in lingerie and then acting like you're saying it like you're freeing, smiley face, is not cosplay, bitch. You're a prostitute. Stop this. You are not a cosplayer. Putting on a wig does not make you a cosplayer. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it the way it is. A ton of countries want to ban Grok over this, apparently. Understandably so. Like, you could do some heinous shit with that, for real. Understandably so, 100%. Like, how could you let this run rogue? Absolute weird.
This, and that this is like enabling patriarchy and enabling like men to sexualize them and all that stuff. For example, this account Yumi got a lot of attention on this set of tweets where she said, why are we as girls asking Grok to undress us? I don't get how this became normalized. This app is cooked. This also.
You normalized it. You were like, it's okay if women sexualize themselves. You were like, your kind was okay with that. You didn't fight back, and now you complain about it? That's your own fault. That's your own. I'm gonna say this. That's your own fault. That is your own fault. You can't really shit on the women that are sexualizing themselves, right? Because that would be anti-woman. So, just saying. You did that to yourself. I'm sorry.
Sends the message that it's okay for men to do the same. So they go ahead and do it under girls' posts without consent. That's the real problem. What's really funny is just a mere 14 hours or so after Yumi made the tweet saying why are women doing this? She actually blamed men for it instead, completely contradicting her prior position. And she got called out.
Oh, she deleted it. Surprise. No, I'm not surprised. I'm actually not surprised. Oh no. I made things awkward. Time to disappear. You can't blame men for what women do. And there's a lot of women doing it. A lot of women. No, it's not. Most women aren't out there doing that. But there's a lot of women that aren't doing that online that enable this behavior. And you cannot deny it. You cannot deny it. It is glorified. It is... they're literally, out here selling a fantasy that's not happening. Yes, it's a fraction of women. But it's a big amount of women that are like, oh, this is totally okay. You know, sex positive, wonderful, great. You know, my body, my choice. Suddenly, that's no longer okay. I find that very weird. And it's not like this is anything special, right? This is not like anything special. I could have just downloaded the picture, uploaded it somewhere else, and then let it run through AI. Now it's just easier to do. But it's still possible. It's just now extra steps. The extra steps are gone. But if weirdos wanted to take a normal woman, run her through AI, and put her in a bikini, that was already possible.
Much in the responses that she actually deleted that tweet, and people even predicted that it would be deleted. For example, this dude who completely called it. And as you saw, ultimately it's concluded with her even locking the responses on the other posts that remain up. Now, of course, this entire situation, or trend, if you want to call it a trend, involves so many more women than just Yumi. This is not to like single her out, but I did find that contradictory behavior really comedic. Tectone would comment on the overall like general situation at large, saying literal thousands of women using Grok to post even more trashy photos of themselves. OF girls, oh my gosh, I can't believe all the men are doing this to us. Huh? Now look, obviously the great majority of people don't want their photos edited without their consent, let alone like publicly edited under their own pictures on their own account, right?
I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say it very harshly. You normalized posting yourself online, and now you're complaining that people are doing weird shit to yourself. To you. Spoiler alert, that was possible 5 years ago. That people would do weird shit to your photos. That was possible 10 years ago that people would do weird shit to your photos. Wow, now you realize the dangers of posting yourself online? Weird.
That's totally understandable. I'm not talking about that. But there is another side to it where, as mentioned, you have these OF accounts where these women are posting these like bait pictures, intentionally trying to get people to edit them, and then when they have the edits going through, they're quote retweeting the edits, being like, oh my gosh, why are people doing this? And it's so obvious that they're actually—
yeah, because it's bait, right? They're like, oh, why are people doing this? So people do it more to annoy, well, not annoy, but like, this is like bait to get more traction onto the post, right? This is not like actual complaints. This is more like, oh no, why are you doing this to me? Do it more.
Actually not upset that they're doing this on purpose, and then just trying to use it as like a manipulative way of trying to get attention on their OF slob content. And then on the other hand, as mentioned, you have some of the women like literally making the edit.
Now, of course, if you do it to actual normal women, right, who aren't sexualizing themselves, that's weird. That's weird. That's weird. For sure, that's weird. No, overall, I think giving OF women attention is overall weird, but that is extra weird.
It's themselves, which, you know what, at least those ones are being honest about it, but then they're getting hate by the other women who are saying that they're just like enabling patriarchy or whatever. It's all quite a ridiculous situation, but let me know what you think about all this in the comments.
If you want to stop enabling patriarchy, call the women out that sell their bodies online, because that's a form of patriarchy. Anyways, just wanted to let that go out there and say that, because it has been diabolical. Like I said, that some teenagers and children have become under scrutiny. I don't understand how that was okay. How like this update overall was okay and good to go. At this point, I'm like, Elon be like, save the humanity, make more babies. Cornbot. Because that's what Grok is now, a glorified cornbot. Maybe I do agree with the AI video I watched that we should boot out Grok. Maybe I do agree. Maybe I do agree. Don't give Grok the parachute. Sacrifice it. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.